raising doubts over free and fair elections. Roots Party of Kenya, on the other hand, is facing a possible fallout days before the polls as the party's running mate Justina Wamae accused her principal presidential candidate Professor George Wajackoyah for being an Azimio la Umoja mole, hence creating tremors in the party. With just 3 days to the general election, all candidates are hoping to maximize on the remaining 48 hours to seal their victory before Kenyans head to the polls on 9th of August 2022 from 6 a.m. to decide the country's future for the next 5 years. Samson Jura, KUTV.
Now, general elections are imminent, and as always, they present an opportunity for citizens to influence the country's direction and to hold leaders to account for their performance.
However, in as much as Kenyans are ready to vote in a new era of leadership, a new survey carried out by Uraia Trust and Twaweza in conjunction with IEBC from 11 counties, a significant number of citizens across 7 of these counties have expressed doubts about the ability of IEBC to conduct elections properly. Here is more.
Even as the campaign trails cruise to a grand hall tomorrow in various parts of the country in preparation for next Tuesday's general elections, a day when many aspirants are hoping for maximum turnout of the electorate to cast votes in their favor, statistics from a survey of 11 counties, including Nairobi, Nakuru, Garissa, Wajir, Kisumu, and Mombasa, among others, carried out by Uraia Trust and Twaweza alongside the IEBC, are proving otherwise in matters voters' confidence in the aspirants.
What are we saying about the candidates? Because from what we have seen, we are not all that motivated. Kenyans are not all that motivated by the candidates who are vying for different seats. So in this case, we found that there is a small but significant minority of citizens reporting post-election-related violence.
Statisticians have also attributed the hesitancy of the electorate to vote to scenarios of election malpractices, with a percentile of up to 44% being doubtful as to whether the forthcoming general elections will be free from fraud and vote tampering, with only 54% thinking the election will be free from fraud.
So from what we are seeing, a small but significant minority of citizens reported some election malpractice. For instance, we had instances whereby people were promised some gifts if they vote for a particular candidate. Many citizens lack confidence in IBC. From what we have seen, because we find it's around 6%, for instance, because we also ask on an array of issues like ensuring that election will be free and fair, counting votes will be done in an honest way, reporting true results, and clearing candidates for run for the office. So looking at what we have here, the statistics, 6 out of 10.
I have seen also the indications. It has improved, but then of course there are issues around it, and I don't envy IEBC at this point, because they are the referee, and with every game, you know, the referee is always, you know, on a very difficult position. I want to believe that IEBC,
irrespective of the uncertainties surrounding the elections, many are still hoping that the elections will be transparent and peaceful, even as various gatekeepers of the polls issue a clarion call to all citizens to vote not only peacefully but wisely.
There's always something about reggae music.
Yeah.
Now, as the nation prepares for the general elections on Tuesday, various organizations have come out to channel the message of maintaining peace before, during, and after the polls.
Well, entertainers too have not been left behind, such as a local well-known poet, Lolani Kalu, who has kicked off an exercise to see the message of peace traverse all over the nation.
Mimi ni Lolani Kalu, mwanahabari, mtalii, msanii ambaye ninatoa ujumbe wa amani kwa taifa letu la Kenya. Nikiwa mwanahabari, nimeshuhudia mengi ambayo yanatokea kila baada ya miaka mitano kwa sababu ya taharuki za kisiasa, kufuatia wafuasi wanavyokuwa na jazba kwa kushindwa ama kushinda, na hapo kuna mengi ambayo yamefanyika katika miaka iliyopita, kama watu kupoteza maisha, kupoteza mali zao na kubaki na ulemavu. Tumeshuhudia mengi ya hayo, na ndipo tukaanzisha mradi wa kutumia gunia ili kukokoteza amani. Huu ni mradi ambao unawashirikisha wananchi wote kwa ujumla hapa kote nchini. Ni mradi ambao hautumii pesa nyingi sana, na ninakuhimiza wewe kama Mkenya kuungana nami katika kukokoteza amani kupitia mradi huu wa gunia, ambapo gunia lina umuhimu sana wa kubeba vyakula vyetu na kubeba kila kitu, lakini tunalitumia kwa kukokoteza amani. Tunaomba mchango wako katika gunia hili, na mchango wako ni kutupatia gunia ambalo utakuwa umeandika ujumbe wa amani ambao tutaunganisha na magunia mengine. Kila Mkenya, gunia lako na gunia langu na gunia la mwingine, tukiyaunganisha tutatengeza bango refu zaidi duniani la amani, na tutakuwa tunaonyesha kukokoteza amani ambayo imechangiwa na kila mtu katika taifa letu la Kenya. Unalotakiwa kufanya ni kuandika ujumbe wako wa amani na kutengeza video fupi tu ya dakika moja, useme mimi fulani wa fulani, ujumbe wangu wa amani ndio huu. Kisha tutumie video hiyo, na ukiweza utumie kipande chako cha gunia katika mradi huo unaoitwa Peace for Peace Initiative, yani kipande cha gunia kwa ajili ya amani. Tunakusudia kutengeza bango la umbali wa urefu wa kilomita 70, na hapa kuna mita 1. Kwa hivyo tunahitaji magunia 35,000 kutoka kote nchini, kila kaunti magunia 744 ili kukokoteza amani. Tunajenga amani hii kabla na baada ya uchaguzi. Kwa hivyo ni mradi ambao utasuka mila zetu na tamaduni zetu katika gunia letu hili. Asanteni sana.
Well, now Deputy President Dr. William Ruto, accompanied by his presidential running mate of the Kenya Kwanza coalition, Rigathi Gachagua, has today led his team in campaigning in Laikipia and Nakuru counties, where he has urged residents to make the right decision in the ballot, as he said that if elected president, he will ensure he unites all Kenyans.
Take a look.
The campaign window is in its last days, and today the Kenya Kwanza coalition has rallied residents of Nyahururu and Nanyuki in Laikipia County and Nakuru Town, Nakuru County, where they sold their bottom-up agenda. While rallying the regions, Dr. William Ruto has urged Kenyans to make the right decisions in the Tuesday 9th ballot, as he said he will protect those who have been serving for the government. Ruto has also said that he will continue ensuring Kenyans across all divides are united.
Tulianza hii safari hapa Nakuru na tuliambia Kenya hatutarudisha Kenya nyuma, mahali wa Kenya watapigana tena.
Ruto's running mate Rigathi Gachagua went on to attack the interior PS Karanja Kibicho. Allied leaders vouched for the Ruto Gachagua ticket, while insisting that the Tuesday polls will be peaceful, despite raising claims that plans are underway to undermine the elections.
Wakikuyu na Wakalenjin wameshikana, wanapigia William Samoei Ruto kura, muachana na hiyo maneno.
Kenya Kwanza leaders have promised to reduce the cost of living, creating employment for the youth, ensuring there is an all-inclusive health cover for all, and reducing fertilizer costs.
Ya kwamba hawa viongozi wetu ambao wametutumikia.
Tomorrow, the Kenya Kwanza team will be holding its final stand at the Nyayo Stadium, Nairobi, ahead of the Tuesday 9th general elections.
It is the time to take our first short break right here on KUTV Primetime News.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
On this this episode of Tech Innovation Show, we bring you an innovation that brings convenience to our sisters.
I decided to come up with this project where I can help girls during their menstruation period, especially girls from informal settlement who cannot afford to purchase pads. When you tap a registered RFID card, it will send a signal to the relay. Then it will activate this two servo motor to release sanitary pads which are packed in these boxes.
This and that you study. If you're not in class, you're in the field.
Najua students mnapenda kulala. What I do when I get broke.
If the money is not enough, we find some of us when tunaingia in betting.
Kuna challenges mingi.
Now we're here 4 years later, about to graduate. What do I say?
Ni mradi wa Lower Kuja Irrigation Scheme ambapo wanafanya upanzi wa mpunga. Utasema kwa lugha ya kawaida mchele, lakini mchele ni wakati ushavuna.
Kuna zingine zinaenda mpaka 60 days, alafu inaanza kuzaa. Ile mpunga sasa inaweza ona mpunga yenyewe sasa. Ama zingine zinaenda mpaka 90 days ndio inaanza kuzaa.
To the people who are in charge of where you reside, where you do your business, or where you go for entertainment or social life.
Our customers ranges from individual owners of properties. We have some properties that we manage for governors. We don't want to mention their names. We have MPs. We have also properties for institutions and for other companies that we are also managing for.
What property management entails, it entails from the time the owner of the building signs the contract with Great Mwanzo, whereby the owner of the building engages Great Mwanzo Properties to be managing the building on his or her behalf. That is, the owner signs the necessary or the required documents. Then from there, we as Great Mwanzo, we come in, we engage the tenants. We also ensure that all the tenants per individual, they also sign the lease forms, because now you have to identify, because you cannot be having tenants in your houses and you don't know the people who are living there.
Well, all right, welcome back and thank you for staying with us.
Now, County 001, Mombasa County, was the choice for Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance, running their final campaigns at the Tononoka grounds. Let's take a look.
Ruto simama pale, baba simame hapa. Tushikane mkono. Tumenyane. Tuone nani atashinda. Hii uchaguzi ya tarehe 9 ya wiki ijayo ni baina ya wafisadi na wakombozi. Wafisadi na kwa hivyo mimi nataka tukubaliane ya kwamba hii siku inakuja, mtarauka nyote muende mkapiga kura. Siku hiyo vijana hakuna kulala nyumbani. Vijana wanakesha nje. Ruto amelia. Ameambiwa na watu yake ya hesabu mambo ni magumu wakati huu. Baba humshindi. Nataka nifinywe. Mtanipatia jeshi langu.
While elsewhere, out of the 4 candidates running in Kenya's presidential election next week, 3 have running mates who are women, including frontrunner Raila Odinga.
This election could herald a breakthrough in Kenya's national politics. However, female politicians say getting to this historic point has not been any easy.
It is an Unprecedented in Kenya, 3 of the 4 candidates running in the August 9 presidential election have female running mates. Pollsters say former Prime Minister Raila Odinga and his running mate, former Justice Minister Martha Karua, lead the pack just days before the vote.
When you have a woman with the public prominence of Martha Karua, who was an MP for 15 or 20 years, she served in Mwai Kibaki's cabinet, and she quit on principle. Then she's been leading her own political party, NAR Kenya. I think that's made it easier for the other 2 presidential candidates to see that it's quite fine and maybe even politically advantageous to have a woman as a running mate.
Justina Wamae is running with presidential contender Professor George Wajakoya. She grew up watching prominent women politicians like Martha Karua, who is now her competitor.
Martha Karua and the other ladies, Mama Ngilu, they cracked the glass ceiling. Now we've blown it up open. 3 of us is a big thing.
Her Roots Party has come up with an unprecedented manifesto in Kenya promising to execute those found guilty of corruption, implement a 4-day work week, and legalize marijuana.
Professor George Wajakoya and myself have a vision. We are telling you that we want to legalize industrial hemp for economic upswing. Our aim is that we will not increase taxes, we will pay off the debt, and we'll shun donor funding because this country must be respected.
Meanwhile, Ruth Mutua is running with Agano Party presidential candidate David Wahiga. Some Kenyans say the role of women is being politicized, while others say women are finally being recognized for their work in a male-dominated field.
We grew up being told that the men are supposed to dominate the society, they're supposed to lead us, but now that everyone is recognizing what we can do and they're opening up to give us space to express ourselves and also to assist in leadership, it's great.
My take, it is a gender card issue that is being played and is being politicized in Kenya.
2 women have lost previous bids for the top seat in Kenya. Political observers say this election may mark the first time that a woman takes the 2nd highest political seat as Kenya's deputy president. Juma Majanga for VON News, Nairobi.
And that's how we wrap up our political news here on KTV Primetime News. Daphne, I hope this opens the door some time in the future where we'll be having a female presidential candidate.
Yeah, that's right. And they say, they say this issue about women being enemies of women, but I hope this is going to be a tables turner in the political realm.
Right, now moving on into health matters. 40 people have tested positive for COVID-19 from a sample size of 2,136, raising the positivity rate to 1.9%. The total confirmed cases have now risen to 337,808, and cumulative tests conducted so far are 3,829,836.
New recoveries are 50, pushing total recoveries to 331,719. No death has been reported, maintaining the total fatalities at 5,672. Now, a few days to the general election, the health workers in Machakos County have cited a hostile working environment and challenges they are facing.
This as they urge Machakos gubernatorial aspirant Wavinya Ndeti to address their issues should she be elected.
We have health workers and professionals in Machakos County are hopeful that the next government will address the key issues that they have been facing in the discharge of their duties.
Our bars in the healthcare system in
Speaking in Machakos County, led by Dr. Charles Okumu Cheke, MPDU Lower Eastern, the doctors say they have been working for long hours due to staff shortage and their salaries delayed apart from not being promoted for the past 10 years.
Seen like salary delays and other problems like lack of supplies. There are times in the main hospital we do not have gloves, basic commodities and drugs. We want to see this coming to an end. We want to ensure when the incoming government comes in, then these are problems of the past.
The health workers discussed with Wavinya Ndeti where they urged her to look into this if she takes office. Wavinya thanked the healthcare workers for endorsing her and promised to work closely with them in ensuring the county residents got excellent service.
I know we are going to change the status of the hospital and bring better service to Mwananchi of Machakos. So we trust you.
Thank you.
And we are ready to work with you.
Thank you.
And you can count on us. They endorsed Wavinya and assured her to count on them as they are ready to work with her. Beatrice also added that their problem is healthcare financing, and she urged people to know the benefits of an NHIF card.
So we must make sure that our healthcare system here works. Na nataka kuashua nyinyi wote madaktari nyinyi wote and all the healthcare workers. Mimi nitafanya kazi na nyinyi tuhakikishe Machakos itakuwa mahali ya kuangalia katika healthcare.
Since the devolution of health, scenes of striking health workers from different counties have been prevalent as they complain over non-adherence of their rights, with the county government shifting blame to the national government over delayed remittances. Imaset Stacy, KUTV.
Professionals will be.
Moving on, the government is working round the clock to ensure all the competency-based curriculum (CBC) classrooms have been completed before a new administration takes over. Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha has stated. He said about 40% of the 3,500 classrooms, translating to about 1,500 classrooms being constructed in the second phase, are yet to be completed.
Speaking at Ituru Boys High School in Gatundu South, where he commissioned the second phase of the CBC classroom constructions today, Magoha insisted he will continue to inspect the construction of the education facilities until a new president is sworn in. He maintained that for the love of the young learners, he will continue to render his services until he hands over the ministry to his successor.
Kiambu is lagging behind, but it's lagging with 70% or so. And that's why we are focused here in Gatundu South, because it's like it's slightly behind in terms of moving forward with the rest of the central region. The other region that's doing extremely well is the Nyanza region, which is at 80%. As at last night, we were at 60% completion rate average. Therefore, we are still on target, but there is still work to be done.
Now, the informal settlements are known for a lot of social ills such as drug abuse and crime. Keeping children busy is key so as to allow them evade the lurking dangers.
In the streets of the Mukuro Kwanjenga slums, a story is told of a young man who decided to flip the other side of the coin and to use a God-given talent to positively impact on the lives of the others.
Wewe mwenyewe utaki kurudi huko, but action yako.
Adams Masava is a painter and the owner of Mukuro Art Club. Mukuro Art Club is a painting studio that takes pride in apprenticing children from the slums. Many children living in the streets are lured to crimes so as to cater for their day-to-day life. Adams aims to impact the children in a positive way by inspiring them to use their talents and hobbies for painting, in return enabling them to focus their time and attention in building themselves.
My inspiration is drawn from the slum I grew up in, because basically when people talk about slums, it's always about negativity.
Painting is creativity brought to fruition through imagination. When painting, one gets to mirror the humanity for a moment. Adams is a storyteller who uses paintings to tell stories. Being a self-taught artist, he aspires to inspire.
So I don't work on a single piece throughout and finish it. What I do is I work on a series of paintings.
The Mukuro Art Club was started to show the positive side of slum life and tell people that there is more to life other than involvement in crime and other social ills.
This is a series that I did. It's called Smoke Doctors.
Students for the art club majorly originate from the informal settlements around South B, Nairobi.
My style is actually portraiture and impressionism, because I'm inspired by my own life, by my own surrounding, by my high school and what I experienced through my work. So as you can see, I use black and white for most of my work. That's my signature style, so I'm known for black and white portraits.
Adam's major clientele during this coronavirus period has been from online, where he hosts exhibitions to enable his marketing. Before Corona, he has been able to have international clients and has shown his work in Europe, Asia, and America. He gives back to the kids by enabling them to find their own voice and participating in exhibitions for exposure.
This pandemic period has helped me to think outside the box.
He helps preserve nature by recycling waste. He collects cardboards and corrugated iron from construction sites as they are renovating. For Mobati canvases, he burns them in fire to make them lose weight, use water and acid to fasten the rusting process, smash them with a hammer, cut them with scissors, and stick them on a stretcher.
It's a very powerful tool.
The art club is veered towards building and improving the generation. Painting takes an instant out of time, altering life by holding it still. Mukuro Art Club has ensured that the kids situated in the slums with the will of creating achieve their dreams.
Never went to a good school, so it's life. You have to keep on pushing. You don't have to settle for less, You just have to get up from your comfort zone and keep going. You have to know what you can do and how you can do it and how it can earn you and still follow your passion. So after finishing high school, I came across Mukuro Art Club, then Mukuro Art Club on Facebook and on the internet. I used to Google a lot about art.
As painting is a journey of a free soul, James Mutugi Wangeshi is an artist whose journey has been full of ups and downs. His parents separated and he had to look for ways of supporting himself, which made him land into prison.
Mbaya, positivity. Nimetoka form 4 nimemaliza 2-3. Nikapata job ya office messenger, sasa hardship ikaanzia hapo, unaona. Juu pesa unapanda transport, unaona. Watu wengine waangalia unaambia no annual increment. Sasa wise man unafanya shughuli yako nyingine, unaona.
Like a phoenix, he rises and shows people that no matter where the road leads you, there will always be light at the end of the tunnel. Adams Musava is an inspiration to the younger generation. He has defied all odds to ensure that he achieves his dream through art. Stacy Achieno, Mukuro Art Club, Nairobi.
Wonderful story there from Stacy Atieno, and of course looking at what people can do in the midst of things that are happening in our surroundings and including the pandemic.
Right.
Yes.
It is very important for you to make use of your talent and make money out of it. We take another break. We'll be back in a moment.
Driving and riding without incidences on the road is such an amazing experience. But do you know while many road traffic crashes are avoidable, human behavior continues to be the leading cause. Speeding, lane indiscipline, drunk driving, distracted driving, failure to wear a helmet, and failure to use available pedestrian ways have been flagged by NTSA as the fatal 6 behaviors likely to lead to a fatal crash and serious injuries. As part of the Usalama Barabarani campaign, we request all road users to prevent these fatal 6 behaviors for their own safety and that of others. When driving, ensure your speed is within the stipulated limits. The road ahead is clear before overtaking. Stick to your lane. Keep left unless carefully overtaking. You're well rested if driving on long distances, and you never drink and drive. Usalama Barabarani starts with you. Fika Salama. This message is brought to you by the National Transport and Safety Authority and the European Union.
Speaking to the people who are in charge of where you reside, where you do your business, or where you go for entertainment or social life.
Our customers ranges from individual owners of properties. We have some properties that we manage for governors. We don't want to mention their names. We have MPs. We have also properties for institutions and for other companies that we also managing for.
What property management entails, it entails from the time the owner of the building signs the contract with Crit Mwanzo, whereby the owner of the building engages Crit Mwanzo Properties to be managing the building on his or her behalf. That is, the owner signs the necessary or the required documents. Then from there, we as Great Mwanzo, we come in, we engage the tenants. We also ensure that all the tenants per individual, they also sign the lease forms, because now you have to identify, because you cannot be having tenants in your houses and you don't know the people who are living there.
Mradi wa Lower Kuja Irrigation Scheme ambapo wanafanya upanzi wa mpunga. Utasema kwa lugha ya kawaida mchele, lakini mchele ni wakati ushavuna.
Kuna zingine zinaenda mpaka 60 days, alafu inaanza kuzaa. Ile mpunga sasa inaweza ona mpunga yenyewe sasa. Ama zingine zinaenda mpaka 90 days ndio inaweza kuzaa.
Welcome back. You're still watching KUTV Primetime News. Time for us to look at the agribusiness segment.
Now, broccoli has a reputation as a superfood. It is low in calories but contains a wealth of nutrients and antioxidants that support many aspects of the human health.
In our agribusiness segment tonight, our very own Caroline Kimwele takes us through an educative piece to a field where the crop is grown locally.
Great Rift Foods and Feeds Limited Farm in Naivasha is one of the few farms in the country that grows broccoli, whose profits, according to the farm's supervisor, are not small. The broccoli plant is one of the plants in the cabbage family, whose flowers are harvested and eaten. Yunia Katuva, the farm supervisor, explains in detail 2 ways for land preparation of growing the broccoli plants.
Wakati siku ya kupanda, kuna bed inafanywa pre-wetting before planting. Saka tutapanda kesho, leo ina pre-wetiwa ndio ikuwe wet, ndio wanakuja sasa na jembe, na kuna specimen ambayo wanatumia ya 25 to 20 ambayo unapima distance ya mboga moja kwa ingine.
This farm uses irrigation method to grow the plant, as evidenced by farmers who are in the process of harvesting.
Okay.
These farmers also inform us that, like other plants, the planting of broccoli plant requires hygiene to prevent losses caused by diseases associated with this plant.
Iyo young crops haiwezi pita 2 days kama haija irrigatiwa. Juu unajua ni young crop na inahitaji maji at least ndio grow up.
According to the farmers, the broccoli plant has many benefits to the body. Broccoli is a fiber crop, hence helps in digestion and lowers body fat. Broccoli also contains minerals like vitamin C, proteins, potassium and calcium that are essential in strengthening bones. Those who are diabetic are also advised to eat broccoli to improve their health.
A hectare of TSB of broccoli is supposed to give us 12 tons. Out of that, you'll be able to export 90% of that because they will be grayed out.
The challenges facing broccoli farming are the invention of pests such as caterpillars, which cause diseases such as downy mildew, dumping off, leaf spot and black rot. Caroline Kimwele for KUTV.
Moving to the next side, for many women along Lake Victoria, the survival of their family depends on getting fish that they sell. However, a supply dwindle in fish due to climatic environmental pollution, among other issues, allowed the growth of a vice, sex for fish.
But in a bid to arrest these, an application has been developed to improve the marketing of fish caught in the lake and is helping women fishmongers fend off sex for fish exploitation by fishermen. The Aquacretch app allows traders to buy fish without having to negotiate with fishermen.
Karen Omondi, a mother of 6, trades fish in Kisumu along Lake Victoria. She's picking up goods she ordered on an app called Aquareg. It allows her to avoid contact with fishermen who may demand sex in return for fish. It's a problem faced by women fish traders, especially those who have fallen into debt to fishermen, says Omondi, who wanted her face blurred because of the emotional topic.
You build up a lot of debt, and it's difficult to pay it back. So you keep saying you pay later, but you end up repaying the debt by having jaboya sex with the fisher.
Jaboya means customer, and this practice has been rampant on the shores of Lake Victoria. Women advocates say the problem is driven in part by poverty and diminishing fish stocks caused by overfishing. Some 30% of the women fish traders are involved in jaboya, say officials with the Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute.
Especially the widowed ones, they have to fend for their families, yeah. So they would feel that they need to be involved in this phenomena to support their families, yeah, especially in female-headed households.
With cage fishing increasing the supply of fish to sell, the incidents of sexual exploitation have come down over the past 10 years, according to the Research Institute. Officials also predict the Aquareg app will bring the numbers down even further. Developer Dave O'Ketch says he designed the app to improve fish marketing and is surprised to see how it has impacted jaboya.
We have been amazed to see what the impact of the innovation has had in terms of how many women are now able to trade on fish in a free and open environment without subjecting themselves to the dehumanizing act of sex for fish trade, commonly known as jaboya.
Launched during the COVID pandemic, Aquareg says it has about 150 women fishmongers in Kisumu using the app. The company hopes to expand to neighboring counties and aims to enroll some 2,000 fish traders by the end of this year. As for Karen Omondi, she has set up a fish stand in her village, and she says she's relieved she can sell her fish without fear of being sexually exploited.
Now, Daphne, Wakoli, and I, together with the rest of the team, are here to take a short break. We'll be coming back with sports news. Don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned. KUTV, in conjunction with Kenyatta University Funeral Home, is now offering death announcements immediately following our news bulletins at 7 p.m. At this sorrowful time, as you share in your grief, allow us to communicate your announcement of your loved one on KUTV in both Kiswahili and English. For more details, kindly inquire at the KU Funeral Home Service Desk or call 0736 928 380 or dial 020-359-9054.
Lola ni programu inayokupa fursa ya kutizama video zozote pindi tu unapokuwa na nafasi. Hadithi za kukupa motisha, drama, maisha ya vyuo vikuu, teknolojia, masuala ya jamii, kuzuru maeneo tofauti, spoti, burudani na zaidi. Pata programu ya Lola sasa kwenye rununu yako kwa yote unayohitaji.
On this episode of Tech Innovation Show, we bring you an innovation that brings convenience to our sisters.
I decided to come up with this project where I can help girls during their menstruation period, especially girls from informal settlement who cannot afford to purchase pads. When you tap a registered RFID card, it will send a signal to the relay. Then it will activate this two servo motor to release sanitary pads which are packed in these boxes.
Right, welcome back, and straight into sports. Faith Cherotich is the new queen of the 3,000 meter steeplechase race at the ongoing World Athletics Under-20 Championships in Cali, Colombia on Friday morning.
The Form 3 students at Caliet Secondary School converted last year's to bronze to gold, clocking 9 minutes 16.14 seconds ahead of Ethiopia's Sembo Almayo and Meseret Yeshaniu, who came in second and third positions respectively.
Kenyans and sports fraternity continue to mourn the departed referee Edward Gitau alias Watela, who died on Thursday morning at the Nairobi West Hospital. Kenya Volleyball Federation Chairman Waithaka Kioni eulogized the late veteran referee as an enthusiast and a passionate sportsman who dedicated his life mentoring others.
Gitau was involved in a road accident and succumbed to injuries sustained while undergoing treatment at the Nairobi West Hospital before he succumbed to injuries on Thursday. And Poznan half-marathon champion Tabira Mboya has been handed a 7-year ban after testing positive for Norandrosta-1 and for tampering with anti-doping processes.
But in her defense, the 37-year-old explained the substance had entered her body after she had been injected with nandrolone and to treat a headache and general body weakness at the Kiambu Level 5 Hospital. Athletics Integrity Unit found no such record on the dates referenced in the medical documents she submitted.
It's 1 minute to the top of the hour. We've come to the end of our bulletin tonight. Be sure to join Anno Odida tomorrow as we continue to inform you on what's happening in the country and beyond, especially as we gear to the general elections. And Daphne, we shall be here next week to make sure we get to inform our viewers on the happenings live from the ground. Huh?
Yes, we shall be here, and we'll also be reporting live from the ground, bringing you up to speed with who's progressing, who's in the lead, and we urge you to vote peacefully even as we proceed to next week's general polls.
All right. So remember to vote wisely, and of course make sure you get to exercise your rights as a citizen of the country to vote, and of course maintain peace in this particular country. It's a country of peace. We love peace. In our flag we have 2 stripes, meaning that peace is something we hold dear. We've come to the end of our bulletin tonight. Our sign language interpreter is Paul Okoli. My name is Mutevi K. Mate.
And I'm Daphne Orina. Keep warm and have a good night.
Driving and riding without incidences on the road is such an amazing experience. But do you know while many road traffic crashes are avoidable, human behavior continues to be the leading cause. Speeding, lane indiscipline, drunk driving, distracted driving, failure to wear a helmet, and failure to use available pedestrian ways have been flagged by NTSA as the fatal 6 behaviors likely to lead to a fatal crash and serious injuries. As part of the Usalama Barabarani campaign, we request all road users to prevent these fatal 6 behaviors for their own safety and that of others. When driving, ensure your speed is within the stipulated limits, the road ahead is clear before overtaking. Stick to your lane, keep left unless carefully overtaking. You're well rested if driving on long distances, and you never drink and drive. Usalama Barabarani starts with you. Fika Salama. This message is brought to you by the National